Is a credit union better than a traditional bank? Why would you even consider working and opening up an account with a credit union? I'm going to be covering the differences and what you need to know in this video. Hey guys, it's Justine, your host of the Debt Free Millennials channel. Here we talk about ways to achieve financial confidence, crush debt that leads to more fun and fewer payments. If you're not part of the family, go ahead and click that red subscribe button. Let's go ahead and answer the question, what is a credit union? A credit union is a financial cooperative owned by its members. It's a not-for-profit entity and they're tax exempt, meaning they're not publicly traded, so they don't have to satisfy any needs of its shareholders because it doesn't have shareholders. Whereas a traditional bank is a for-profit entity. It has a vested interest in creating profits for its shareholders. In both cases, credit unions and traditional banks offer those banking products that we all know and use: checking accounts, savings accounts, loans, and more. So how can you join a credit union? In the past, credit unions have certain eligibility requirements in order for its members to join. For example, Navy Federal Credit Union requires that its members have a tie to the Armed Forces Department of Defense or National Guard. There's also a locality component to several credit unions. For example, the San Diego County Credit Union requires that its members live or work in Southern California. Not just San Diego County, but it's also open to counties like Orange, Riverside, and Los Angeles. Nowadays, credit unions are opening up membership to the general public, such as the Alliant Credit Union that I found while I was researching for this video. Anybody can open. Traditional banks are set up just the opposite of credit unions, where they're requiring you to meet eligibility for membership. Traditional banks are just open to anybody so long as you meet the opening requirements for specific accounts, such as $100 minimum to open up a checking account or a savings account. Let's talk about the pros of a credit union. First, you're going to get better rates and lower fees than you would with traditional banks. Most of the times, you're even going to find no fees on those traditional banking account products. Plus, any profits goes back to its members in the form of those lower fees, better interest rates, better borrowing rates. Whereas pros of a traditional bank, you're going to find physical locations of that traditional bank pretty much everywhere. Think about all of the cities that you've gone into, small towns across the country, and thinking about traditional banks that you've seen, like a Chase Bank or a Wells Fargo. You're probably going to see one of those locations, one of those branches inside of those cities. Plus, traditional banks have more financial product options. While I was doing my research, I found that Chase Bank offered 29 personal credit card options, whereas Navy Federal only offered 6. So cons of a credit union are pretty much that of the opposite of the pros of a traditional bank. A con of a credit union is that you're going to have fewer physical locations, but let's be honest, who is going into a physical location anymore? Plus, you're going to see fewer financial product options than traditional banks. Now, the cons of a traditional bank includes higher fees and higher borrowing rates. Remember, they have a vested interest in creating profits for its shareholders, so it's probably going to pass on some of those expenses to its customers. You're going to see low to no interest rates on things like savings accounts and checking accounts. Plus, it's just riddled with fraudulent activity. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to check out the Wells Fargo episode on dirty money on Netflix to get a sense of what I'm talking about. Or better yet, just go watch the worst banks in America video that I did a while back. I will link to that up here in the cards. And please read the comments. The comments are going to show you exactly what real customers, real people like you and me are going through when they're banking at places like Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America. It is awful. You definitely want to go check that out. So in my opinion, a credit union or an online bank is going to be a better option for you than traditional banks. Anytime that we can protect ourselves from fees, and you're going to want to look for a fee-free banking account product, whether it be checking or savings, and also look for financial products that offer favorable rates, such as mortgage rates, and working with a really good mortgage lender that's going to give that really good interest rate. You want to work with an institution that has low overhead fees and expenses, thus passing along the cost savings to its members. When you have a banking institution that is putting its members first, people over profits, that's the way you want to go. And I find that a credit union or an online bank is going to be your best bet. Now, banking in general is just one component to your finances. There's a lot that you are working through: debt, saving, building up an emergency fund, building up a down payment, having kids. If it all feels financially overwhelming to you, then you definitely need to check out my signature financial coaching program, my Debt-Free Millennials coaching program, where you and I sit down and talk about your financial struggles, your top 3 financial goals, and work a system in just 90 days to get you back to a feeling of financial confidence. I will leave a link below for you to check out that coaching program, and let me know in the comments, are you using a credit union, or are you using a traditional bank or an online bank? Let me know. Let's start a conversation about this. The more that we can help each other figure out what are those banking solutions, the better that our financial situations come to be. And I'll catch you in the next video.